Want to see a little bit more. But yes, friends, let's lock in. Put your seatbelt on. We're about to get into this match. Gluto versus Ken. Two juggernauts here in the Smash community. About to throw down right now.
There's also a clear favorite for the crowd in this one. It's, of course, Gluto, a player that has come to our country a lot of times now, and they want to see him succeed. Ken, however, it's his first time here in Mexico. So far, so good. So far, he seems to be on the verge of reaching that next spot in bracket, knowing how complicated of a match it was going to be. However, Rod, I mean, 15 seconds passed by, nobody touched each other, and now finally they land the first hits. And, of course, Gluto is not going to be in the lead for now.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I'm not surprised that it took that long to get that initial hit. I mean, this is Sonic and this is Wario, for God's sake. There's going to be a lot of standstill moments where the match really reaches a crawl, if you will. But there's also going to be moments where I feel like the match, you know, definitely is a bit more explosive, namely when both sides decide to get up close and personal on each other. Gluto showing a lot of promise in the aggression department, using that nair out of shield. Okay, even just raw nair, too, pretty good in this matchup as well, too, with it being frame 4. I love that. Okay, Ken right now dancing circles around Gluto, though I can't ignore the fact that Ken with a pretty comfortable lead here. And yeah, he said, look, you know, look, I don't even, look, I ain't got to explain nothing to you. You know what happens when I get the lead, bro, okay? Do the math. I'm backing off.
Yep, this is the first of what we're probably going to see happen very, very often. Ken, of course, I mean, you do bank on the timeout and everything, but it's also to your detriment because Wario's going to keep charging the waft. However, problem is getting in, and I don't think that Gluto is going to have too many options to go for the up tilts and such. He does find Ken here. Where? Offstage. That's the offstage presence that we were talking about that hurts Ken so much. He does find his way back into the stage, but he does not even tag Gluto for a single %. So Gluto with the lead right now. Oh no, the air dodge is going to not hit the edge, and Gluto makes this an even game.
Even game, and we'll definitely take it. I mean, both sides fairly understanding that I cannot allow either side to get the lead, but for two very, very different but equally as dangerous and terrifying reasons. Of course, we know what the Sonic players in this game do when they get the lead. And then, of course, the longer you let the match go on Wario's behalf, I mean, he's glowing yellow, so y'all do the math, all right? There's another nair. What's going on? Up air, even up tilt too, very dangerous. You do not want to be above Wario. It's in your best interest to get back onto solid ground. Okay, looking good here. Down tilt, looking for the bait in. Okay, another nair. And this is very smart right here. Both sides really starting to fill each other out. Understand the importance of pacing here in this game. Aggression sometimes is not going to be the key factor to help you mount this victory.
It is going to be a very careful approach from Ken either way, though. He was behind by 2%. He went in, he won, even after the trade and everything. So Gluto does not really have the upper hand in that sense. No. Multiple multi-hits for Wario. If he does find a way to land them, that's great. But in the meantime, Ken, with just the neutral air, he is going to find so many victories against the Wario man. And yes, the waft is fully charged by now, so Gluto definitely going to bang on the up tilt soon, but looking very unlikely right now, even with the extending of the hitboxes.
Yeah, I mean, here's kind of the issue, though, and I can't ignore the elephant in the room, or I guess in this case, kind of the waft in the room. And the fact of the matter is that, you know, waft is cool, but what good is waft if my opponent's not going to approach? I mean, yes, you got, you know, up air, a very safe option, -2. I mean, it's going to be very hard for even characters as quick as Sonic to deal with how good that option is up close and personal. But again, if I don't approach, waft is really a thing of the past. And I'm also just much faster on foot than you are, Wario. I'm sorry, man. I can just run circles around you. Okay, almost dropping the bike on him. That's scary.
I remember in the tournament Smash 4, these two faced off, and Gluto got a kill with the bike, like just landing the front wheels on Sonic, but that was still a set he lost, so the history goes way back. Once again, talking about Smash 4, Wario was not the character he is now, but Ken was also such a master of Sonic, and he is demonstrating that he is still in the competition to be one of the best. I know that Sonic has the results right now to say he is the best, but you know, when Ken goes into Ken mode, it's really complicated to go in. And again, Wario, look at that. Gluto is just banking on the command grab. But this one, he does bite the hedgehog, though.
That's right.
Tasty hedgehog meat.
I guess he'll take it, no doubt. Of course, the command grab healing a little bit of %, but honestly, it's just really not enough. Wario just bleeding out here. And Ken right now just playing patient game as always, just being an absolute surgeon, so meticulous with the approach options, understanding that I just cannot approach in a crazy fashion right now on Wario. One overextension and I can be gone. Oh yeah, I'm on my bike though. He said you were on your bike. They hit him with the baby boy, man, took his bike from him. I'm gonna take that.
Not gonna be a safe way in. Gluto is at full rage, however. Maybe putting Ken outside with a back air could lead to something big, but how to even find the back air? Ken is going to be in domination of the center stage. The tilts to send him back, and that is the fair to end the second stock of the French player. And Ken up a stock. You know the vibe.
That's right. You know the vibes. They are in full effect right now. Lands with the Nair. Okay, clean stuff. Starting to see some of these safer aerial options come out on Sonic's behalf. This character is so good, bro. Ken Sonic just completely just out of control, bro. And I feel like we're also confused in chat because sometimes I address Sonic as like Sonic, or say Sonic plural, and chat is like, oh, you talking about Sonic. But no, I'm talking about Sonic plural. But hey, it is what it is, though.
The multiple Sonics out there.
That's right, most definitely. Okay, looking good here.
You know, one thing that I do like from Gluto is that he seems to be calling out the spin charges that Ken goes for. The up smash, however, will never connect like this, even with the hurtbox extension or the hitbox extension on the bike.
Yes, sir.
He does put Ken really close to the top blast zone, but it's once again that game of cat and mouse trying to get the bite on Sonic, and I don't think it's going to happen for the French player. Ken is just running circles around him once again and getting some very safe hits like hit and run.
Yeah, it is certainly a hit and run if I've ever seen one. And this is just unfortunate. It's not going in. Oh, okay. I almost fixed my list to say something there. I was going to say it wasn't going into the way of Gluto, but actually, he might be able to turn this into something right now. 50%. I mean, is that really? Oh, hey, whoa, hey. Hey, what type of party is this, okay? Okay, there's that double nair and the up air, trying to chisel his way into something great right now. If he could find the right setup, he could maybe turn this into a stock right now, courtesy of that wall.
Still needs some percent, though, or catching Ken at the very edge of the stage. 45 seconds remaining, though. This is looking like the first time out, unless Gluto can find it. Okay, Sonic's going to get out of the way, safe and sound. No waft in place just yet. Oh my lord, Ken landing right next to Gluto so many times, and yet no punishment. 30 seconds to go, Rod, and Ricardo. And it doesn't seem like there really is much for Glutonny to do. Yeah, he can try to whip it. I mean, he could try to go for a Hail Mary, but I don't think it's a fight.
Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance he might be able to go for that, too. I mean, I know he went for one of those versus Leo earlier, but this one's a little different, though. Sonic, of course, as a character, blessed with some different footwork than Joker is, and so able, again, like I mentioned, able to run circles around him. 10 seconds on the clock here. Friends! Okay, scared. Okay. Oh! No! Not like this.
Dude, this happened against Sonic 2 in Smash Factor. This is the exact same situation. Gluto getting the waft at the end. It doesn't kill. And yes, this might not have been the sweet spot or anything, but he still landed it. I mean, he got the read on the movement. If there's one thing that Ken's going to have to be worried of is just that, the reads on the movement.
The reads have to be present. I'm sorry, Lord Twitch chat. I thought we were going to see a crazy comeback there. I yelled a little too early, and honestly, I'm running low on voice anyway. I don't got too much more yelling in me. But yes, Gluto was able to really slow that match down and almost chisel out a victory there. Ken, of course, said, not on my watch, my friend. Okay, I didn't fly all the way here just to allow you to come back. Can't allow that to happen. Almost had victory, though, with that up tilt. Those hands on Wario's up top, I believe, are disjointed, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be very hard for the opponents of any stature to work around. Good anti-air options, even for characters with great movement like Sonic.
There is at least one caveat for Gluto's game here. He was able to pick the stage, and it's a lot smaller. So if he already called out some of Ken's movement options on regular Battlefield, I think that small Battlefield is going to be much easier, but maybe not to the level where you can land the waft. Granted, he found 2 kills with regular edge guarding. I think there's a lot of merit to that. He did find Ken off stage for the most part, so if he's able to put him out there, that is Gluto's territory. But Ken is so good at controlling center stage. He never really takes any trades from the bike or anything, and he is now playing around the command grab too.
Yeah, and which is really smart too, because sometimes Gluto will kind of slow his roll a little bit and let the damage come to him. He said, you know, if you're going to jump around me, I'm just going to toss out this command grab. There's a good chance you might land in it, and if, you know, command grab works, I'll take a little bit of that percent healed, but not quite seeing that much here anymore. Ken right now just dancing around Gluto. I really can't stress enough how good the movement options have been, or honestly the lack thereof. You know, sometimes those, you know, stationary options, him just kind of staying in the corner, forcing Gluto to come to him now that he has the lead. That right there has kind of been a big detriment, a thorn in Gluto's side.
An interesting element about this is that Spario was winning a lot of exchanges, catching Ken when he was standing still by just calling out, calling him out and going for the grab, the dash grab. Something that Gluto is not really going for. He would rather just wait for Ken to approach. Also, not the same speed or anything, but I think there might be some winning situations for Gluto if he does call out those stationary positions of Ken. And Okay, this one is like the beginning of something big. If the bike does its job, I can see Gluto going in, but he keeps on whiffing, and Ken, just with the neutraler alone, he can get so much going.
Yeah, he really can. I mean, honestly, it's just that one spark that really turns into the flame that is this game plan that Ken's bringing to the table. I just can't stress enough how important it is for Gluto when he gets up close and personal to really make the most, the most out of his approach. It's so difficult to do because there's not going to be very few, there's not going to be a lot of moments where you're going to be able to break that zone and get up close and personal. Okay, a little off the mark right there, trying to read the tech option out possibly with that up tilt. But granted, you have Nair, you have forward air, a quick frame 4 and 5 option, so you can't go toe-to-toe in that regard. Speaking of toes, the toes are out right there. That up air, closing it out on Gluto, up close and personal, and sending Gluto sky high. Ken just, he's doing what Ken does best. When the situation calls for it, damn it, I will slow this match down.
2 minutes and 20 seconds later, too. Like, talk about slowing it down. He did not really need to commit too much to find that stock, and even less so now. But wait a minute, Gluto is glowing. He might just be able to get a stock here soon. He puts Ken off stage once again. This is where Gluto wins it! Gonna with the second hit of neutral air, though. Back throw to put him back again. Maybe a downer could do it. Lingering hitbox on the edge. He's gonna find Ken. No, he did go for the downer, but he just whips it, and finally the up smash. Gonna put this in 2 stocks apiece.
That's right. Better late than never, but finally evening up here this narrative. A little afraid that this match is going to be a kind of a rinse and repeat from what we've seen in game number 1, but Gluto, of course, both of these 2 players, you can't be this good without adaptation, and both sides certainly doing it in a big way on each other. Up throw, boom, up air. Excuse me, I almost said up tilt. No up tilt needed. Of course, we're above the platform. Okay.
That's a lead for Gluto. 1% lead, but it's a lead. And that's usually when Ken goes in. He is now trying to bank it all on the fair, and he does land it back to the regular. So he's not up a stock. He is going to be wary of the existence of the waft. But Gluto kept it till the very last stock in the last game. So I don't think there's much reason for him to whiff it here. But maybe, just getting that lead, he can also play runaway. Yeah, Wario has a lot of air drip.
That's very true. You could play the keep away game. Both sides could kind of play that, but certainly more on the behalf of Ken. I like what Gluto's doing though. Once he kind of breaks that zone, he's also not swinging super big. Usually some of those KO options are like back air and things and such, but electing to go for more of the simpler options. Looking for that down tilt. With it being -7, relatively safe or close, being able to use that a couple times just to kind of check the temperature right here on Ken's behalf. Oh, take it!
The call out on the movement, and Gluto up a stock. I don't know if the vibes are the same, but he is up a stock. This is a lead, and this is the first one he's had in stock terms in this entire set. And, of course, not a position he usually finds himself in against Sonic, so he better make it work, and it definitely is. That's a lot of extra credit Ken cannot land.
That's right. Class is most certainly in session right now. We're seeing a master class right now, just this great Wario gameplay. Now you have to approach me a little bit more. And I feel like Ken is a little fish out of water in this regard, but wait a minute, that ain't no damn fish. That's a shark right there, my friend. And he swims with the big, taking a bite right there out of Gluto. Even stocks right now, and I'm going to keep it a stack. 56% really ain't all that bad.
Definitely a doable distance for Ken, especially when he has the clog. Not at his advantage, actually, but he does have the movement, and he can definitely get into Gluto's area a lot easier. But Gluto out of shield. He goes for the back here, puts Ken at 91%, and we saw the up smash close out 1 stock earlier. I don't see why Gluto just couldn't call out one more movement option and maybe get a forward smash to close it out. The waft, though, is not charged yet.
I know. Waft is certainly going to be the deciding factor. I feel like as this match certainly starts to trail on, a double down to the dash attack. Quick burst option in, caught him in the corner. Gluto very dangerous from this position. Ken very well aware of that. Whoa, down there? Yeah, wow. We out of there. Great stuff right here on Gluto, letting him know I'm down to play the slow game if I have to. Gluto catching him slipping and making him pay for it.
Gluto getting over one of the big mental barriers of this matchup, and that's even landing a game, let alone the stocks. That's hard enough, but he got a game here, and it was the downer, the most lingering hitbox that he's got with multi-hits, and that's the secure. So now Ken, again, offstage play being his doom and gloom. Whenever he's grounded, he is king, but if he's in the air, that's where he really ends up lacking, and that's where Gluto, he has not committed to so many up airs, for instance. He would rather just wait for Ken to drop down and go for a trade there with an up smash or something. So that's where he wins. He understands how he can win the trades when Ken is landing, but the problem is catching Ken in the first place.
That's right. That is, of course, the name of the game here versus both of these 2 characters. And unfortunately, on Gluto's behalf, just a little outmatched in the speed department. Also, just want to say something. I feel like my mic is a little low. Chat's telling me my mic is low. I can't fix that. I'm sorry.
Oigan, le suben el volumen a Rod, porfa.
Yeah.
Que se escucha bajo. Que si le subes el volumen a su micro, por favor.
Okay, well.
There you go.
Well, let's see how this one goes here. Now, of course, like I mentioned before, Gluto a little outmatched in the speed department, but when it comes to that air-to-air gameplay, I think Sonic, as a character, a little worried about that. I mean, again, the drift, the air mobility that Wario is blessed with, and of course how quick in air and forward air are, that right there, I feel like very scary and always in the back of, of Sonic players' mind, especially of Ken's stature. Very great player, but he knows the importance of not allowing that one hit to turn into that big hit, which is usually that waft.
Yes, indeed. And even at these early percents, that is how Gluto is going to open up the stock either way. The first hit of neutral are doing so much for him. Maybe to extend the combo, maybe to finish it up. But you know what? The percent keeps rising up, and Ken, once again, at a disadvantage. I know that it feels like it's not too big, knowing that just a couple of hits is going to put this back on his side. But seeing Gluto in a lead, that's, yeah, make a wish, dude.
It's rare. That's for darn sure. It's most certainly rare. But let's hope it doesn't stay rare on Gluto's behalf. Let's hope it becomes very common, because I would certainly like to see him, maybe hold on to a lead and try to milk it a little bit more. I feel like it has to be a pretty big and sizable lead for Ken to really play out of his element right now. When Ken understands, hey, it's just a 10%, 15% lead you have, I'm still going to play my game. It's when it starts to hit those dark red percentages where Ken starts to sweat a little bit more.
For sure, because he can just get called out on the movement, and Gluto, so many matches he's landed at this point. But also the bike, I think whenever the bike is in play and Ken is in the red numbers, he steers away from it a little bit longer. The hitbox is... Oh my god! Okay, talk about callouts now. Finally, we get some real offstage play from Ken.
That's right. Ken, of course, just not letting go. Always holding forward, especially when it's time to play off stage. On stage, a bit of a different story, but when it comes to the off stage gameplay, most certainly holding forward. Using those arrows right there definitely to get the job done. Nice. Cross up with the up air. Interesting.
Real
Okay, looking good right now. Has the bike. Can't quite make magic happen, unfortunately enough, but the waft is online, so I feel like Gluto with a little bit more confidence on approaching. Would like to see, yes, that falling forward air, frame 5. Oh my god, down tilt. A good option, too, with how safe it is on shield. Ken said, I'm out of here, bro.
I don't know about that confirm he was going for, though. The F tilt definitely taking a little too long to come out, and Ken winning the exchange. Ken is also putting himself consistently in the air. Now, finally being able to dance around Gluto a lot more, but the parry on the first hit of the upper gives Gluto the chance to set up for a second edge guard, and oh boy, if he ripped that one out, that could have been the stock charge a lot.
Okay, homing attack. Super safe option, too, on shield. Gonna be very hard, even with the parry, for the opponents to, find an option to punish that in time. And this match starting to trail out of control. Oh, I love the fake out. Jumped off the bike, and it was expecting him to jump off the top platform and fall into the up air. Going to need these layered approach options right here to try to pinpoint Ken's movement options again. This is just starting to spiral, just maybe snowball out of control right now for Gluto. Even with the waft locked in. Oh, the bike. We just throwing the bike around. Why not?
Oh, I don't know if that's a real use you want to give it, though. It's definitely the hitbox extension, and Ken is just nowhere near it once again. Spring Trampoline is going to give Ken another victory, and that's pretty much a full stock lead, but he falls on the half-second hit. Off the upper, could have been the stock, but there you go. The Fear's going to clutch it out. Kalos Pokemon League proving to be a little too much for Gluto. Even with the huge, huge platform for the bike to ride on, it's not going to do any good, even with the hitbox extensions.
Oh, my God. Okay, not quite enough to get it done. But, yeah, I love that presence of mind. These platforms on Kalos, not quite as much of your friend as sometimes, people might be led to believe. Whoa, there's the up smash, though. Positioning is everything on Gluto's behalf. Not getting very many opportunities to approach Ken. The Sonic gameplay is so good, but when the opportunity arises, he definitely capitalizes the way he's supposed to, but has a lot of work to make up, especially as this match starts to trail on. Nair out of shield. Another Nair. Okay, quick option. Going to go for the homing attack, forcing Gluto into the corner here.
I will tell you, though, this is probably the match that's gone the most fast in terms of damage buildup from Ken. He is definitely playing it more aggressively. Does not want to go down the timeout, but he is going to go. No, he's still alive.
Wait,
somehow.
Okay,
gotta make it back.
Yeah, I know, made it back, but narrowly, though. That footstool, that precision, the situational awareness from Gluto, so good. Okay, now he's trying to break that zone here. The looming threat of the waft has left the building. And I'm going to be honest, we'll run out of time right here for a second when this match's going to have to go down to the absolute wire. 136%.
Just to call it, hitting the driver, not the bike itself. And Ken lining himself up, too, to catch Gluto with a back air on his way out of the area. Hitbox extension a little bit, but it's still not going to represent that big of a victory for Gluto. He is really close to losing this one. About to be caught with a second back air, but still alive and kicking at 177%. Ken's down tilt is probably his favorite option to end stocks right there when Gluto is about to make it back into stage. But it feels like he might not even need it. He's going to catch him up stage forwarder, maybe.
Down tilt. Down tilt, pretty good option, man. Quick, especially in the corner. Okay. Oh, there's that nair. That's going to be enough to do it in a 2-stock victory going to Ken. Great stuff right there. Of course, very meticulous gameplay. I'm going to be nice, okay? So I'm being nice up here, chat. Okay, very concise and clear gameplay. You know what his game plan is, and it is a method that most certainly works. Gluto struggling right now to try to figure out a way to mount this victory. Ken right there, he said, oh, he said, look, man, camping, I'm going to be honest, he said, that one took a lot out of me.
I mean, this was the most aggressive match so far. You saw how much time was left on the clock, about 2 minutes. So definitely a different beast that Ken is becoming. Now going to Gluto's counter pick stage. It's probably going to be a much smaller one, and we are headed to Battlefield, much like in the first match, I believe. And Ken, of course, getting that victory on that stage. As time goes on, however, feels like Gluto more willing to drain the clock as well. He knows he can find that lead on the Waft, and he did so in game number 2. But Ken, you know, banking on his movement once again, he is going to get the immediate lead. And this time it took 20 seconds for the first hit to happen. Yeah, I mean, again, just a rinse and repeat from what we've seen in these first so many games. Both sides just taking their absolute time, understanding the importance of getting the lead and just how important the pacing is in a matchup like this. Not going to see as many hits as we're probably used to seeing. These are two very combo-heavy characters. Oh, my goodness. First hit, frame 5. You ain't doing nothing about this out here. Ain't going to be no bites. You're not riding back to this stage, okay? Out into the blast zone you go. And Ken understanding sometimes, again, less is more with the approach. I could go toe-to-toe all day. We can trade aerials. I'm not here for that. I'm here to find that chink in your armor, okay? Once I find that and I figure out how you bleed, it's over, bro. Gluto kind of relapsing, though. He's going back to the Game 1 plan of once again throwing out the command grab, hoping that Ken is just going to keep holding forward, and he definitely has been, but no longer falling into Wario's mouth. And, of course, Ken able to double jump out of it, able to do neutral air, beat the exchange, and Gluto only now able to put Ken off stage, but not for too much percent either. One thing that Gluto has kind of depended on lately is also the back air, one of the faster options too. It covers a lot of ground, but it doesn't really put Ken far away enough. The air game and the upstage game we were talking about, Ken is no longer playing. Yeah, not quite playing as much as he would probably like to. Ken just, again, the bag of tricks. You know, there's about 3 tricks in that bag, okay? And all 3 of them are most definitely working, okay, friend? Okay, the camping, I mean, you know, say what you want about it. It's certainly something that has to happen in a matchup like this. You do not want to go air to air, which is an area where, you know, Sonic really, as a character, just thrives. But you do not want to be on the receiving end, oh my God, of Wario's aerials. And Ken proving exactly why right now, not allowing him back onto the stage. And that's going to be enough. Whoa! Ooh. Okay, almost. And fortunately, this match is starting to unravel at the seams right here for Gluto. Yep, this definitely looks like the end. No waft, no recovery, down 2 stocks, and of course not landing too many hits on Ken either. Like that 68% speaks to around like 3 or 4 combos that Gluto has gotten, and very short ones too, like 2 or 3 hits tops. And yeah, Ken just keeps finding a way to get out of that area. Gluto unsafely approaching, whips the graph too, but Ken can't quite compete with the upper, which again is a bit of an inconsistent move sometimes, using to pace it properly. That's right, no doubt about that. Yeah, definitely don't want to bet all your chips on that move. And I got to give it to Ken right now, just playing completely out of their mind, going to go for the nair right into the back air. Clean stuff, oh my God. Get a schoolyard bully punch right there. Can't quite tilt it properly to find the right hit. But the trades are starting to come out, and at this point, why not? Finesse and precision have completely left the building. I need some straight hits. I need some straight hits fast. And Gluto trying to chase Ken down. No waft, however, and I think the checkmate situation is coming soon, as Ken is simply going to run circles in the main platform, forcing Gluto to whip one of those up airs and then maybe catch him with a back air of his own. Or maybe a second up air? No, Gluto is actually going to put himself on the board, but the crowd goes mild. I think they understand what's happening here. I think they understand that the situation is not likely to see a comeback, and Ken is going to punch his ticket real soon to those loser semis. Yeah, it's kind of shaping up to be that way. Ken right now said, look, this is the game plan, and I'm sticking to it, all right?
You will not see me deviate from this plan, all right? Okay, nothing off the F tilt. Trying to get him off stage. Whoa, okay, gets the trump, no nair. Smart on Ken right there to not drift in or air dodge in. That could have turned into something real dangerous and just cannot track him down.
Uh-oh. Double upper, though. Gluto definitely banking everything on catching him with a fully charged up smash, which could steal a stock away real soon, especially on the top platform. Can't quite find Ken, though. He is taking his sweet time before taking the final stock. Eventually, though, up throw is also kill option, so just a little more percent, and that might take down Wario, too, if you don't find any backers or such. And he has definitely been whiffing a lot. I mean, Gluto already has a second whiff. Wait a minute.
That's right. He's been whiffing quite a bit, and I'm going to be honest, you don't want to play with your food versus Gluto. I mean, just as important it is to, to pace out the match on Ken's behalf, the same can certainly be said for Wario.
Oh,
my
wait
goodness.
A minute.
We got some tricks up these Wario sleeves. Great stuff right here on Gluto. Might be able to turn this into something. Caught in that ledge right now. Waft online. Nothing off the F tilt. Okay, if we can get that one hit, you know what he's looking for. That aerial approach, that could be the key he needs. Okay, whiffs the grab. Okay, gonna go for nair there that time. Okay, now Ken's starting to kind of kick up the aggression a little bit more. Understanding what's at stake here.
Knowing that even with Gluto at 181%, that's full rage, that's a fully charged waft, and that's a confirm away. Maybe a little bit more percent sure if you take him to 30 or 40 or so. That's definitely a confirmation. Wait a minute, couple of up airs. Is Gluto really going to do this? Is Gluto really going to take us to a fifth game?
That is the million-dollar question, and it kind of turning into that here a little bit. If Ken can't figure out a way to approach him properly and safely enough to get it done. But the spring. He said, I'm out of here, my boy. He said, I knew it was a trap all along, but that's okay. Still glowing. Can still put this stock to bed. Okay. Falling up here. Oh, okay. Okay. Still looking good. 200% right now. Ken playing with this food. Cleans his plate. But wait a minute. Still a little bit more to eat right there. Wait a minute. Nair.
Game five! Gluto! And the crowd pops off, and so does EE. Shout out to EE.
At the 11th hour, Gluto rises to the occasion and forces it to a Game 5. Ken said, you want to run it back? Gluto said, slow your roll, player. Let me get a second to collect myself. You've been outpacing me this whole match. You can wait a second. Hold on, Phil. What you got to say?
Tell them niggas we ain't done yet. Let's go.
Ain't done yet, Phil. That's what I'm talking about. Game 5 is here.
Shout out to Chocolate Thunder, by the way. That's his name for the weekend. And yes, Gluto is actually really close to making what seems impossible become reality. I mean, look at Ken. Look at him. He is also super shook. He is also like, okay, how did that one get away from me? How did a 2-stock lead and red percent on Wario become a victory for Gluto? Gluto, though, just playing it patient, knowing that he was going to get access to a second waft, too.
Well, and that's the issue I was talking about as the set kicked off, the importance of both sides pacing each other. Sonic is going to do that as a character because that's just what he's designed to do. But also, Wario, due to the nature of that comeback mechanic, that waft, there's going to be some times where Ken is like, okay, I can't actually stay far back as I would like to. If I have the lead, sure. But when we're one stock apiece and he's in them dark represents working with some rage, I got to make sure I get this stock taken. But now I have to approach. And that's where Gluto's like, yo, let's fight. I'm down to exchange aerial blows right now. My nair and forward air versus your nair and your forward air. Let's see what both sides are going to lead into.
Also taking care of the landing with the command grab, and Gluto is going to put this percent at 72 on Ken. And yes, that's not looking like a good situation, but Gluto whips his up B, and that is going to be big for Ken. However, he cannot extend too much either. Ken, you do see him holding back. He is now definitely in danger after losing a match like that. It hurts you in the mental game. And of course, Sonic is usually the one in charge, but now Gluto is the one who keeps the offensive going. He whips though, and this was the doom for Ken in the last match, whiffing so much right in front of Gluto.
Oh, 100%. Gluto kind of playing just with a completely new bag of tricks right now. Ken a little out of his element right now. He understands that slow game, Gluto actually is kind of okay with playing that because sooner or later we're going to be in a position where, again, like I mentioned before, one stock apiece, I got the waft, no waft needed. The bike is getting it done off stage. Gluto with the lead. What's Ken going to do?
France is popping off right now. The building is popping off too. Gluto still in his first stock, 64% only. That's not super huge. That's not danger percent yet, but he does need to put in some damage on Ken. If he banks on the timeout, I think there's still something Gluto can do. We talked about this. The air drift for Wario is not bad at all. He is quite fast, and he can run away somewhat, but eventually Sonic is going to catch up. Sonic is going to catch up to him. Oh, no.
Hey, now what is he up to? The command grab off stage. Gluto said, look, I got the lead. I'm acting brand spanking new. I'm fresh out the package. Okay. Another homing attack. Nothing off the F smash. Great attempt right there. A lesser player probably would have air dodged in. Ken right now bringing out all the stops here.
Ken, who is also...
Come here.
Okay. This time he holds it back. I mean, Gluto has been getting so many bites, taking care of the spin charge, and now Ken finally adapting to that, jumping out of it on time. And here come the trades once again. Gluto is still kind of in that position to take trades as long as it's not the up air or the back air, probably. Neutral air, a little bit more complicated if it's on the top of the stage, but
sure.
you can still live through it. And Ken, knowing that the Waft is also in play, so if Gluto is able to get a 2-stock lead, man, I can just feel the roof bursting.
Yeah, this place is going to explode, all right? I mean, it's just going to be a mess everywhere. But we'll see if, it even comes to that. This is still Ken. Obviously, he's playing his, main. It's the character that put him on the map. And with that being said, I don't want to call it just yet. The comeback potential is always there for a player of this caliber. Okay. Empty jumping around right now, just trying to find some clean hits in. Again, back air. Whoa. That was...
I don't know about that one, Chief. That's a regrab.
Yeah, that's definitely a regrab. Popped him up in the air. Okay, was able to get back onto solid ground, but I can't help but to feel this stock is definitely on borrowed time, and I feel like Ken, we're going to see just the rare aggressive Ken start to come out here maybe if he has to figure out a way to get this stock taken and fast. Another Nair out of shield, though. Ooh. Nair raw or out of shield, don't matter. That move definitely demands a lot of respect. There's these trades I was talking about from before. More Nairs down tilt, frame 5, F tilt.
Surprised he doesn't go for the dash attack. He does now. Can't quite get the confirm, and Ken is going to finally earn a stock in this match. Puts Gluto on 0%. However, this is just a reset again. There's 3 minutes remaining. Gluto might just take a page out of Ken's own playbook and make him suffer through what they made him suffer.
That's right. Getting him a little taste of his own medicine right now. And again, this is kind of what happens when you play with your food. Again, Ken just kind of allowed some of them those earlier matches versus Gluto to trail on just a little bit too long, and now you have to play Gluto's game despite what you have percent-wise. Waft is always the X factor. Okay, and ain't gonna be no more bite gameplay. Up throw, nothing off the up air though. Immediately landing on that platform. Okay, my God, the snipe was almost there.
Ooh, and I know that he wants to get the grabs on Sonic. On Sonic, Ken. He is finally... reaching out to him. Whenever Ken is not moving too much, Gluto taking a page out of Spargo's own playbook. Downer not going to end the stock just yet, but if Gluto gets the last stock, still with Waft in play, you can feel it happening, everybody. Gluto might just finally beat his team in character, but he needs to find the confirm and not use Waft in this one. The Downer not going to do it. The command grab won't do it either. Sonic is simply going to keep on jumping. Ken wants nothing to do with the, with the man.
Yeah, he most certainly does not. Want to get in and look for some clean hits where in a time where Gluto's like, I'll take some trades if I have to, namely with that back air, maybe not so much Nair and up air. Back air is definitely going to get the job done, but doesn't matter though. Gets the stock taken. Gluto with the big lead. We're right up underneath the 2-minute mark. Nair, what's going on, bro? I got framed that all in your face. What's going on with it? Okay, another down air, command grab. No, sir. Great parry, falling up air. Doesn't get anything off of it, and Ken right now approaching in a way that we have not seen here throughout the majority of this set.
Losing the trades, though, for the most part, he is coming out of these exchanges with a lot of percent on his name. And man, how the turntables. Glutonny, of course, forcing Ken back. And there's the confirm. Where's the Waft, though? There's no Waft yet. No up tilt. He's fishing for it. And 43% for Sonics. This is not looking too good. Just get him to 60. And that should be the confirmation at the end of it. Maybe another bike to throw out. 114 on Gluto only. It's building up the rage too. Yeah, that rage is certainly on the horizon. Nothing off the falling up air, and I love, again, the presence of mind that Ken has in the corner. Okay, looking for the rolling out the corner with the up tilt. Great option. That's okay, though. You still got the lead, and we're up underneath. A minute here. This ain't looking good right now for the other side. Ken's going to have to figure it out here, and fast. There's the Nair, down tilt. Okay, -7, safe. We in that corner. You better watch yourself. And now the burst option for Gluto is simply neutral air out of shield. Granted, Ken's own neutral air is definitely going to put on a big work here. Oh no, that's 90 on Ken. He went down smash. Gluto takes it. Gluto overcomes his demon, and yes, he gets. I mean, he's so relieved, man.
Yes, he is.
You can feel the relief.
And honestly, he should be. Pop off was so crazy, froze the stream for a second. Gluto chants coming out all across the board. Crowd erupts. I was a little curious if the crowd was going to go mild or if it was going to go wild, and you see how it all happened right there, friends. Gluto moving on, advances to the next portion of bracket. Ken right there going to drop. Okay.
In fifth place.
Fifth place, yeah, wow, wow.
Yeah,
Got to get a second to collect myself. I got to keep it a stack right there. Wasn't exactly sure how that one was all going to unfold. It certainly went down to the wire. And as you can see here, friends, let's go ahead and take a look at the heads-to-head stats. Gluto, of course, winning that game, that set, 3-2, but it did not come without a challenge. Ken, of course, played completely out of their mind. That Sonic was pilot to top player efficiency, but unfortunately it was just not enough. And, wow, I am just, wow, that was a thing.
I mean, Game 4, dude. I think Game 4 is the real highlight of this match, how Gluto was able to keep his composure, not giving